Hello and welcome to the island. This is episode 3 and I am Kanani. Last time we worked on the potion brewing station, and ever since I've been compiling a potion recipe book, learning about all the different potions, their elements and what they do, so that I can have that knowledge all compiled into a little book, this one here, up in the enchanting tower. But that leaves me with the conundrum of what to do with this book here, my list of banned words and now banned topics from my children that embarrass them. And I really just can't keep up with all what the Gen Z say, and I'm not allowed to say what used to be a meaning is no longer that meaning. So I'm out with this book and I'm going to grab my potion recipes and it's going to live here. As you can see, I should be able to remember, if just a quick look, what I need and what's required. But what to do with this book, my list of banned words, there's really just one thing. That feels better. Maybe I can explain more on this later. So for today's adventure, we were going to look at the Litematica for Bedrock. The one I found is called Structura, and we're going to build something in this space here, I do believe. Franny the Phantom is a bit lonely up in the tower, has no view, and neither does Clive. This is our bit eccentric caretaker of the sea pickle farm. He's got a bit crazy up here. There you are, Clive. So we'll give him a nice view too. But before we get on to that, I want to explain a little something from one of the comments received on one of the videos. Now, I appreciate everyone's comments, likes, subscribes. Thank you so much. It'll really help support me to continue this channel. However, one of the comments was ascribing me as a professional gamer. So I've just brought you back here to the cemetery to show you something. It's not these guys. Normally there's one alpaca here mourning one of the cemeteries, but when there's more than one, it always feels a bit nefarious. No, what I actually wanted to share with you was this grave here, which was the end of my very first ever bed in this world. And the reason it died was I took it to the end and decided to sleep the night thinking, oh, it's fine. The scary thing was that was not that many weeks ago. Not too long at all. But let's head over now to my test world, Creative, to check out this Structura or Litematica for Bedrock. So here we have a tree that I've built. Now we give ourselves the structure block with this command, give at self structure block. Very simply, now we take our structure block and we place it just outside the area we want, and we right click on the structure block, and now we have to set the parameters. So here we have X, Y, and Z, and they're all color coordinated, and we make sure we fit everything in. We can hit the detect button to determine where we're at, and then we can flick the tree around to make sure everything's gotten in there. There it all is. Now once we are satisfied, we can save our structure. I'm going to call this the old oak tree. We save it and then we must export it. Now we can choose the file folder where we want it saved. And then we can jump out and use Structura to create a McPack file that we can use in Bedrock. So now we can open Structura, and I will leave a link in the description. It is so simple to use. You simply browse open the file we created from the structure block and save it, create that McPack file, and that's already done. So now all we have to do is open that McPack file, which will open straight into our Bedrock. As we can see, the import started, successfully done. Now we will go and open that in our resource packs. So we can see there it is. We just activate it now. So now we've jumped back into the world. Let us see how we use this resource pack. And it's just with a armor stand. You can see I place one down and we have these blocks that show, just like in Litematica, we can place it up blocks. Wherever we place this armor stand and directionally to is where we will see the schematics. So these blocks are not solid. We can zoom right through them and they're a bit transparent, so we can just place the blocks where we know we need to now. Now, I'm showing this little light block here because we can see it on the armor stand, and that's just because it was in the parameters. Now I can just be a bit like Oprah, and you get a tree, and you get a tree, and everybody gets a tree. So since we're looking at trees, custom trees in your world can make it really beautiful and unique. One of my favorites from my childhood is a smoke bush. It has this beautiful purple foliage in a really deep maroon and then these tufts of smoke almost. So I thought we could try and replicate that. I was going to use some stripped oak and we can start to form a bit of a shape. It was really nice. Growing up, my dad gave me this little plot of land in the area, in the garden, and this was the tree I wanted. It was a small tree, so beautiful, so unique. So I thought, there's not a lot of building blocks for leaves. You've seen autumn trees with terracottas. They use amethyst crystals, but I thought the cherry wood replicates that really deep mauvey maroon color, and the magenta glass, perfect for those smoky foliage in the little seeds you have on the outside. So that's my attempt at the smoke bush. Let's go and make a proper tree out of it in the world. Hey, so we're back and I've built my smoke bush. As you can see it in the distance, this is the new island. This area we built the wagon from last episode, just over there with the rabbit family. Now, going up this way, this is the newer area, the new builds. So we'll be branching out this way in future episodes. But I love how this smoke bush turned out. It's stunning and it does take me back to my childhood. I love seeing the more exposed trunk rather than make it too bushy. But let's have a closer look at how we actually use this Structura in our world. Now I've got this gum tree, Australian gum that I've built, but I wanted it to be taller. So I've gone into a creative copy. I've added to this gum tree just to play around with this Structura schematic feature, and I have the coordinates where I had the structure block where I need to put my armor stand. So I'll pop it down a block and there she is. So I will go ahead and have a look at it, start adding the blocks, and let's add some music. I actually just forgot until I got up here looking that I need to craft some of the tree. And this is my basalt generating farm. I don't want any of that exposed orange wood. So let's get back and take a look. Not too bad. I think of Australian gums as being a bit messy, very tall, lots of leaves, and they throw them up at the top. Lots of life in them, so I liked adding the fan coral on the sides. There's like some growth as well as the roots hanging down. But I think it's really cool that trees add that uniqueness to your world when you custom build them. But check it out. I wanted to show you before I deactivate this resource pack, something I found a little bit trippy. We come just in here. Check it out. It's like I've got grass and I can just run through it. I'm not really here. It's just a bad dream. Okay, let's get rid of it now. So, working on trees, I've had this mess around my amethyst farm. I wanted it to look a bit mystical, and it was where I was growing my mangroves. So it looked really nice and dense and lush, but I'm not a huge fan of just the plain mangrove. So let's get rid of these, and I'll have a go at something. This tree that I've come up with loves the water. Something I grew up with as well. See if you can take a guess. I've started, this is the trunk. I haven't added any leaves yet. I need to go resource gathering. Hey, you're a little popper. I suppose Papa's got to eat. So I wanted to keep this area so you could walk through it, hence being able to travel through the trunk of the tree. I really hope this willow works out. When I was a little kid, we'd swing on the branches of the tree. It was so fun. So let's go gather leaves. Nah, poop. You cannot sleep through rain or storms on Bedrock. I don't like venturing out from the islands where it's dark, where the light levels are low and creepers will blow me up. So I'm just going to wait out the rain. Feed the bunnies. Auntie Nani's here. Wait, I have a villager to do this. Hey. Oh, you keep getting stuck. I remember I've got to come and fix this whole area. Yeah, let me just steal your carrots. It's been a while since I've checked on the sheep too. The shears are all still good. Oh, finally, let's go get some leaves. If you fly at 45-degree angles up and down, you can keep momentum and save on rockets or fireworks. What? This is cool. And how close to home was this? Oh my goodness. You can see I haven't done any exploring out since I've pruned my world with the 1.20 update.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
This is literally on my back door, which means now I'm going to be really distracted. So I've heard that in survival, you can get suspicious sand as an illegal inventory item by using a cobweb. So I'm just going to test that theory. See if it works in Bedrock. Oh, I think the sound of the glass breaking means it didn't work. Now, the thing I learnt the hard way, because I found trail ruins before and thought they must have glitched out in this world, is that you have to dig down a long, long way between the layers of the surface to where it really starts. See how far down we are? Using the duster is cool. I have a suspicion this one is the shape of an armor trim, but if you leave it, then it sucks it back in. So let's see. Oh, yes. Now I was told this place is big, but look, I've gotten sherds, music discs, and the armor trim. They are actually quite huge. I'll have to show you when I dig this place entirely out. Not today. It is that big. This is not a jacuzzi. I'm just saying. It's my amethyst farm down there. We're back at the willow tree and I've finished putting on the leaves. I think it turned out quite sweet. Let me show you. So the weeping willows that I grew up with have these long rope type branches that hang low, covered in leaves, all individual like that. I think you're still wanting to get down to that farm, aren't you? Yeah, let me give you a nudge. Oh, see ya. Ah, the sunrises are so pretty over the horizon there with our gold farm. But now we've finished the weeping willows. I love how their leaves kiss the water. We've been able to do up the pond a little bit. I really wanted it to be a bit more dense and lush around the amethyst farm. But while I walk around and you can have a look, let me explain to you about why I burned the Book of Banned Words. You see, I have a teenage daughter and she described something that someone said as being out of pocket, end quote. And I'm like, out of pocket? That means they've paid for something themselves out of their own pocket. She's like, no, it means that what they said was wild or out there or strange. Like, what? You can't go and change language meaning like that. Out of pocket has nothing to do with describing the way someone said something or what they said. I can't even. I'm literally can't evening. That's nonsense. Hence the Book of Banned Words. I'm going to give them a Book of Banned Words. That's what I'm going to do. So now calm. We're back in the tranquil. It's beautiful and lush and pretty. So let's go and finish our final build for today. So here we are back at Clive's. We're going to give him and Franny the Phantom a beautiful view. Down here really is an ugly mess at the moment, but let's make it into something a bit different and a bit special. Hey Reggie. You're clearly not Reggie. Have you seen him? Have you seen Reggie around? I'm getting really worried about him. The sun's almost down and he is going to get zombified. I will do a quick search for him. Not around his base. Not getting some dinner. Not hanging with the mobs. Oh. Not in our recent build. Is he back at the fisherman's house? He could be. He used to sleep in here. Ugh. So I've just had to distract from looking for Reggie. I've gotten some terraforming done, something basic. This is why you never get attached to villagers, people. Villagers or pets, they just go missing. They break your heart. Anyway, let's make a start. I must say, I do have questions. And I'm wondering, should I help? It's interesting. So I am a late comer to the game of Minecraft. One thing I do want to play with is the different coloured rugs you can put on the llamas. So I'm going to very sneakily steal these guys. This is the World Mob game. And, oh, that was easier than I thought. I've just broken up this nefarious trio, did a drug bust, and now I've got a place in mind to display these guys. A little bit out there, but inspired by something I've actually gotten to personally see. So I'll show you a photo of what I mean, but first I'll breed these guys up. Oh, they're so cute. They are not easy to maneuver around though. You can leash them and drag them, but they don't come when you're holding their food item or anything like that. Ugh. Oh no! I don't want them hanging. Ugh. Start again. Oh my goodness! Ah! Yo! What the? Oh, that's only the second time I've died in this world. That's why as a noob I don't do hardcore though, hey. Oh, man. Oh, these trident guys are nasty. Let me see. Oh, I haven't got much of my stuff back. I've only got this hoe. You can run and tell that, homeboy. Oh, now I collect it all. So I've worked out the secret is to get height using scaffolding and then drop them in place. Oh, so many of these guys spawn here and they're hitting my babies. So the inspiration I had was the goat trees that you see in certain areas, but I've actually seen them here in Australia on goat farms because they love to climb. But I didn't want to use goats because they jump. So, it's a make-believe world. We just substituted the llamas. And I can see all their different coloured outfits, so it looks good. The tree itself is just old, so it's not got a lot of foliage anymore. It's more spindly. The focus is definitely the llamas. And that was a lot of work. Let's go have a look at it up close. So while we check it out, I'll share with you a few of the tips that I learnt about llamas and building llama trees. And the first one is that trader llamas are tamed, but if you breed them or if you get wild llamas, you then have to tame them to breed them. Otherwise, you'll just lose all your hay bales to them. I really like Clive's little garden, how it turned out. His view of the llamas in the tree is really cute. And they all stay in their relative spots as well because they can't move anywhere and they can't have a place to jump down to. So that's good. Let's check out Clive's view. Hey, Clive. Oh, you've got so many new neighbours now. What do you think? Are you impressed? Clive? What do you think? Oh, yes, that is the sound of them spitting. I can understand your discomfort. So my tip number 2, while we go up to Franny's view, is to get them in place. Use scaffolding, have them on a leash. Just get really high and then drop them into position. I found that's the easiest way, and then you can make sure you block them in. And that's why I'm not going to add any more leaves and finesse to this tree because I don't want them accidentally stepping off. I didn't get to include all the colours of the rugs onto the llamas either, so I'll find a place to put the rest. We have Sad Joe over at the cemetery, but I'll put the rest in the yard over here. Now, I did do up the little fishing yard as well. I thought I'd terraform just the rest of the island around here. So I added some cute nets, some wood that he might need to fix some boats, mend or build, and then also a little veggie patch here. My last tip though, my final tip for you guys, if you're thinking about making a llama tree of your very own, is please reconsider it. Just don't do it. They are such a nightmare, and especially if you're building around drowned with tridents. But I have had a lot of fun in this video, and I hope you have too. Next time we'll be commissioned to move around a lot of villages, so that will be another nightmare. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.